All right, welcome back to the back nine. We're round 2 here. We got Colton on the tee.
That was bad. I early released that really badly. That was a rock, and I just slipped out of my hand. I was having we were all having some grip issues with how humid it was. So you just either over chalk and let it sit, and then or just don't chalk and let it slip. It was rough.
If you're watching this from another place in the U.S. or even someplace outside the U.S., August in South Carolina is not great. It's pretty frothy and sticky.
Yeah, and Hayden just threw a great shot. I thought it was probably, I think, a little short off the tee when I was in person, but it ended up pretty good. And Will's going Warden here, just a little left. I think it got a tree. And then Cam going the forehand turnover. Kind of just threw a little too low, but got, oh wow, way down there on the right. Kind of just took a big skip. This is me over here, and I'm just like, I just need to get out in the fairway. So I chuck a sidewinder for a forehand roller. And that's a pretty good spot from where I was. I had pretty much nothing.
Speaking of nothing, Will is he was kind of in a spot there.
And then he gets a kind of a tough roll. The way it just rolls backwards from about 30 to about 60 feet. I'm going XD here just to lay up. I didn't have much. Wasn't trying to get too aggressive.
Yeah, it's gotta take your medicine.
Yeah, can't be taking big numbers out here.
I thought you said that. That's why I thought no.
And then Cam got almost to that out of bounds down there, but he didn't, and that's a great up. Gonna take a good par. I'm just tapping in for the par, or bogey, I mean. And then Hayden is parked for the birdie. Absolutely great birdie there, especially with us playing the whole 2 over besides him.
Yeah, that's getting strokes on folks there.
Oh yeah. You see how many birdies were on that hole? There were only 4 birdies on that hole out of the 31 MA1 people. All right, hole 11 here is a par 4, 453 feet. It is either you can go for it and try to get the eagle, or just go down the middle and try to make the birdie. Kind of a tough gap off the tee, very much just a tunnel shot the whole way. And then the basket finishes up to the left. You kind of want to have something so where you can approach it with something slower. One of the easier holes on the course, in my opinion, if you're hitting this gap correct.
Yep, it's all dependent on hitting this gap.
Hayden's going T-bird 3 again. It's leaking a little left, but that's going to get way up there, actually. Pretty good shot. Cam's going forehand force. And it's going to get down there. It's just going to be right. Not the worst spot. It's going to have some thick. I'm going destroyer because I'm going for this. And I just throw it a touch too high. And it catches kind of some foliage high and kicks down to about 70 feet.
I threw it, baby Annie threw it.
Yeah, a little bit lower, and that thing would have been at the pin.
Yeah, I was going for it because after that last hole especially, I was pretty frustrated. Will's throwing that Explorer again, I believe.
Slow me down with your drive back.
And then kind of a left kick, but he's not in the worst spot in the world. There's some lines over there. And Will gets a rough roll here. Just takes off that tree.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That hit the tree just at the unfortunate correct angle.
Yeah, and I think just a pitch up there from that was either Will or Cameron. I couldn't tell.
It was Cameron.
Just a pitch up. He just pitched up to try to get the bird. So is Hayden, and then I'm kind of running this, but I didn't give it a good run. I kind of left it a little short, but it should be an easy birdie. And then Will here gets another rough tree kick, but he's got a circle look. Cam has a probably 40-footer here. Oh, it's so close. And it needs to sit. Kind of a rough roll away, but should have a good look at par. And Will catches a tree there. Now I'm just getting out of Cam's way just to get out of here. I wasn't too far. So is Hayden.
Those are good birdies.
Oh, yeah, this is a good hole to get. As long as you're getting through this... Oh, Cam. As long as you're getting through this gap off the tee, it's not too bad. Yeah, this hole had 8 birdies on it, which is a decent chunk of the field.
Hole 12, par 3, 391 feet. This is a signature hole of the course. Going to the basket placement on the right. You're throwing downhill and making certain you don't go long into this creek behind. And you're going to throw something either backhand turnover or forehand that's going to skip towards this basket. You just have to be careful not to go too hot at it. If you do, you're going to wind up OB.
Yeah, I believe Hayden's throwing that Firebird type. I think it's a Scepter again. Or, yeah, no, this is actually this might be his Hex. I'm not 100% sure. I think he's just going turnover there. I'm going rock. There's a little bit of a headwind, so I dissed up to a more stable rock, forced it over, trying to let it come back. I was very pleased with this out of my hand. Thought it was going to be perfect.
I think that's pretty solid.
And I just want to be right by the basket. I was about a foot out of bounds, just long.
Yeah, that was just about parked.
I thought I was ace running it almost, which I kind of was, but that was... I'll take the easy par here. It's not the easiest hole in the world.
And by the way, I'm going to give you extra points for the dance moves there. That was a great spin.
Yeah, I'm just trying to stay on my feet. Will got stuck up in this tree here. It took us a while to find it. But he's going harp here. Which is a pretty good upshot from where he was. That's kind of pinched. Cam for bird. Oh, good bid.
Cameron's still in a good mood. He was getting frustrated, though, at the lack of birdies, though.
Hayden got a good bird there.
Mm-hmm.
I was pretty happy. And you can see I went out right behind the basket.
Yeah.
I was kind of frustrated with that one.
You were about 1 foot to 2 feet away from being parked. That was unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. It's all right. I just threw it a little too high is all. And Will just a touch low on that one. I think low is his main miss. He tends to just be a little too much hyzer and it gets down. And this here is hole 13, par 3, 328. This hole you kind of want to hit this initial gap and then push pretty straight and fade at the end. OB all along this left side, and there's a ditch on the right. We're playing as casual. This hole is kind of tough as the low ceiling, and you're not really going to get much skip off this grass. Hayden is going Wraith.
Oh, that's what that is, the Wraith,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a two-tone Wraith. He overturned it just a little bit, but that's not a bad spot. It's in the middle. I'm going T-Bird here, and I got that. It just slipped out of my hand again. Bad grip problems, and that's going to be out of bounds. This back nine, in my opinion, is a little bit tougher than the front. And then Cam ends up just in that casual relief area.
Yeah, Pipeline definitely more difficult than Tiger, and also, of course, that gets more difficult as it goes along.
For sure. And then this here, Will just absolutely filleted that shot. That was a great one. I'm here throwing a Rhino approach because I don't really have much else. And I threw a pretty good upshot. I was pretty happy with that. Just to get out of here with the bogey is not bad. This whole, it can be pretty tough on you.
That's another shot. I mentioned about your putting earlier. That's another shot that I've really seen you come a long way with, that touch up shot.
I've worked on it a lot in the backyard just because I know I need it. It's my backhand approach game kind of lacks sometimes. That was a good putt there from Cam. He chose not to take the relief and play from in the ditch. And Will here, great birdie. That's a solid one.
Yeah, Cam didn't really have any place to take relief. If he'd have gone back, it would have been right in Briars. So, unfortunate. Yep. Hole 14, par 3, 315. This one is tough. You got to throw a forehand, probably, and try to get somewhere up around here. The best shots will get up here on this plateau and maybe have a look at a birdie. This one is, I don't even know if we had any birdies on the weekend here, but it's seldom birdied. It's tough.
This is hole 14. There was 2 birdies on the weekend. Yeah. So this hole played tough. Hayden's going hex here just to try to get it in play.
Get down.
That is the way to birdie if you're
On this way.
I'm going wraith here, trying to throw a flip up forehand. And I kind of throw it well. It gets pretty far up here. It has probably, I think it was 45 feet.
Yeah, that's the exact line you need to. It's pretty specific if you want the birdie
It
look.
forces you to throw the forehand here. There's not really room to throw a backhand. And I go backhand 95% of the time. Hayden's just throwing a berg up shot. Overturns it a little bit, but it's just up there.
Yeah, if you're throwing the backhand off the tee here to this basket, it feels like you're conceding and like, okay, I'm good with a par here.
And I thought I made that out of my hand, just a little left.
I did too.
Yep. Yeah, the 2 birdies on this hole were from Blade, Blackmeyer, and Dylan Spearman. They were the only birdies on this hole.
Well, last round I literally had a spider.
There were a lot of pars on this hole, not too many bogeys and such. But this hole's one that you kind of almost just play for par.
Yeah. I'm happy with the par.
Yeah, as I just said, I was happy with that. Even though I did miss that putt, I'm not mad at a 3 there. Hole 15's a 386-foot par 3. Pretty downhill and just a tunnel shot. You kind of just want to throw something that goes straight and doesn't have much finish. Both sides of this hole are pretty rough if you kick off, but you kind of want to land just short and let it kind of just slide up a touch. Kind of just want to, you can pick either forehand or backhand, just you don't want to go off the fairway.
Okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful green down there.
Oh yeah, it has that kind of ditch behind it as well. I think Will's going pure here. That red pure he throws a lot. And he just threw it a little too low. But I kind of caught a bad skip. I didn't see that before. Hayden's going hex again. This is one of his predator discs, I think.
Oh, I grip locked it.
And he ended up getting a fortunate kind of kick back to there even. Because he kicked really far right. Cam is going, I believe it's an undertaker. Just overturns it a bit. But, oh, it got down there through. Good tree
Crazy kick.
I'm going rock, and I kind of just released it on too much hyzer. Hayden's, I think, throwing berg here. Just trying to get down there for a putt. Which he threw a pretty solid one from there. I got an XD. I'm just trying to lay up. And I did pretty well. I believe Will's just laying this up as well he's putting with Wardens. I actually might be a little bit of a run, but he's just trying to get it. This is Hayden for par. And that snuck in there. That was a good putt.
Yeah, a little toilet bowl there, kind of.
He's living right on that one.
Yeah, no kidding.
Cam for birdie. Oh, close.
Yeah, everybody's just kind of tapping out at this point, then moving on.
Yeah, this hole was not too tough.
Hole 16, par 3, turn of 58 feet. Significantly uphill. Used to be a lot harder before Hurricane Helene. Some big trees came down. Now there's a pretty generous gap. It wouldn't surprise me if this one played as one of the easiest holes on the day. Most of the guys are probably just going to throw really backhand or forehand and get up here to the basket.
Yeah, Vern, this one did play as the easiest hole on the day. I know I used to throw PD here. I thought it was a lot further because it looked a lot further. But Will's going buzz and absolutely just parked it. And then Hayden here, I think this is, I believe this is his Scepter. Not 100% sure though. And he just early released that a touch, but that's still up there for a putt.
So with the exception of his hex and one of the disc, is he pretty much an Innova type guy?
That's great.
No, I don't believe so. I think he's kind of just a mixed bag. I'm going T-Bird here, as I didn't realize it was quite as short as it was. And this is sailing, and I get a fortunate tree kick. Hayden, little long stepper for birdie, and just off. Thought he made that. And we're just that was Cam's first birdie. He was pretty happy with that. I'm just tapping in with my XD, and then Will's tapping in. You're close to a star frame on this one, but yeah. So this one played a whole 0.39 under par. This here's 17, par 4, 614 feet. You kind of want to throw down this gap and get it turning down the hill. Forehand or backhand is an option. Once you get to the bottom of the hill down here, the green is up and to the right. So this one's a really tough hole. Kind of hard to get the tee shot all the way through, and then it's even harder to get up to this green sometimes, especially from off the fairway. And then once you get up here, there's a drop off. A lot of rolls.
Yeah, lots of danger to get into on this hole.
Will's going buzz. Yeah, as we transition from 16 to being the easiest, this is the hardest hole on the course. And Will just laces that into the group in front of us. Cam's going force, just a little too high. Kind of kicks down though. Now I'm going rock, and I pull it a little bit, and I'm not very happy with this. Kind of gets caught up on the hill. That's a rough lie. I'm not too mad at it, but I wanted to hit this gap a little bit better.
Yeah, but you're right. If it had had any worse kick, you could have been in a really bad spot.
Oh yeah. Hayden just kind of turfed his hex there. I think this is a cap wrap.
Oh, okay.
Then Cam here, tough spot. He's just trying to get out there. I think this is a cap wrap as well. And that was pretty good from where he was. He needs to sit down though. Yeah, it just rolls a little through. Over there is not fun. And I am just struggling to see what to do here. I'm trying to throw a Firebird out, and I kind of get a bad kick, but that's not the worst spot in the world. I should have a step out sidearm from there. Hayden's going Star Destroyer, and just early releases it again. That's the same one he did that with on hole 4. I here am throwing a Wraith, just trying to chuck a forehand up there. And honestly, I'm pretty pleased with that. I have probably a 40-ish footer for par.
Yeah.
Which is, it's going to be a tough run, but I'm probably I think I end up running it. Yeah, I had to chuck that like all arm basically because of the stance I had. So I had to, it was really fluttery.
Yeah, everybody's all over the place, and Will just, he's in a circle looking at a birdie now.
Yeah, Will's played this really well. And Cam he was a pinch spot. It's not much you can do from there.
Honestly, Will's tee shot is one of the best I've ever seen on this hole. It's amazing.
Yeah, great up there. Hayden's just laying up, I believe. I'm checking scores at the moment. I'm going to run this. All right, let's give it a good bid. And I airball. That was my first, I think that might have been Circle's Edge. That was my first miss inside the circle of the weekend. And Will just low for the birdie. I now have I think that was actually C2. This is about 32 feet uphill. just leave it low. That was rough. Kind of frustrated with how I played that hole. Just didn't play it well at all altogether. This one actually had no birdies for the field on the weekend.
Hole 18, final hole, par 5, 784 feet. This one's a journey. The first thing you have to do throwing from up high down low is to get through that gap you just saw. If you can get your tee shot somewhere at or even past the short basket here, then you're sitting really good. The next leg of the journey is getting through these trees and starting to make your way back uphill. And then the very end of the fairway, we're going to finish uphill here where the red basket's at, tucked into this little tree, into these little trees here. This is a tough one here. Getting a birdie is not impossible, but folks can get a lot worse.
Yeah, well, I think it's going buzz off the tee here. We heard some chains behind us, and we were just waiting till they cleared out. And that was pulled really badly, but it got a good ways up there through.
Wow. You're fine. It kicked straight back in the fairway.
Yeah, it kind of double kicked back into the fairway. Cam is going, I believe this is another force. He really likes the force. I could be wrong. This could be a nuke, but I believe it's a force. And he laces this. It is a great shot. And it just takes a kind of a big skip over there to the right.
Yeah, it's not terrible though.
Hayden's going, I believe this is, what is this? This might be T-Bird. I'm not 100% sure on this one. Oh, that's a putter. That's his Prodigy Archive. That's a mid.
I'm a backhand guy, boys.
I'm throwing race. I'm trying to eagle this hole. I'm trying to get really far up there, and I just overturn it. It's starting to turn over too much, and I end up in a rough spot. I'm just ahead of Will. Will's just laying up with a putter here, trying to get in the fairway. Rough tree kick, but I'm trying to get aggressive, and I just absolutely hit a tree right in front of me. You can see what I'm trying to throw through here.
Yeah.
This one I early released it a touch, but bad kick to the left, but I still should have a chance to make par. In my opinion, this hole is very eagleable, but also very double bogeyable.
Yeah. So you said you were looking at scores right before this. So where were you sitting right now? Were you trying to push harder?
Well, I think the only, like, if the hole before this, I was 1 or 2 back of Hayden. If I had made that, I think I might have been tied with him. And I was more focused on that than anything, not just staying on coverage. This year, I'm throwing that leopard again, and it's just a tough shot. I pull it a touch, catches some rough foliage, but I got a long look at it. I think probably 100 feet or so. Will, showing the mosquitoes.
Yeah, we're right beside that bog at this point.
And Will kind of just early released that a little bit. And at this point, I'm like, I need to make this, because I thought Lance was going to birdie hole 1 and kick me off lead card at this point. But that kind of kicked over. I was like, I really need to par this, especially just to have a chance with Hayden. Hayden's throwing, I think, his 3rd shot here. I think that is that XL again, or that might be an archive. One of the two.
I think it was the archive, because I think his XL is white.
Yeah, you're right. He has a couple of those XLs. I don't think he bags the orange one, though. And then Will just gets a rough tree kick again. Cam is in this rough left stuff. This stuff over here is not great. And I don't think that got out. I have this rhino approach in again, and I tried to run it, but I laid up. Will just kind of laid up there for, I don't know what he's taking, but he just kind of laid up on that one. Cam's throwing that zone.
This being the 36th hole of the day, I feel like everybody is just done at this point.
Yeah, I was tired. It was hot,
It was buggy.
and Hayden almost made that. Yeah, just.
Like the biggest drive off the tee and still take a bogey is.
It was a corner band, you said?
Yeah, Cam was frustrated that he bogeyed that one after his drive. But this hole played as the second hardest hole in the day, so the last two were tough.
All right, at the end of this round, we got Hayden, Alan Vasquez shooting 3 down, 1,004 rated. It's a hot round. And then we got Adler Hawkins joining us, and Colton stays on the lead card here.
Oh, yeah.
So thanks for joining us, and catch us on round 3.